This is Darlington from Darlington Academy, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to apply for a Canada study permit using the new IRCC portal account. So the first thing you're going to do is this link here I will leave in the description area of this video. The first thing you do is you are going to create an IRCC portal account, as you can see here. So I'm not going to go ahead and do it, so I'll just walk you guys through on what to do. So here you're going to put your email address, confirm your email address, and then you're going to get an invitation code. With that invitation code, you are going to complete the sign-up process. But if you already have an IRCC portal account, all you have to do is you click on this sign in right here, and then we'll start the application process. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and sign in, and then we'll start this application process. So after you sign in, you're going to see the terms and the conditions. Take the time to read and then go all the way down, accept. Once you do that, you've signed in into your account. You're going to see here where it says apply for a visitor visa, transit visa, or a study permit, right? So what you're going to do is you are going to click on this one right here to start the application process. Because I want this application to be a smooth one, I already worked on an application right here. So I'm just going to click on it and then walk you guys through, and you are going to use this demo to complete your own application once you start it. So if you're starting, you are going to click on this one and it will still take you to this process that I'm going to be showing you guys right now. So once that opens up, it's going to show you get ready to apply to visit or study in Canada. Then take the time to read all this, go down, click on I acknowledge and start application. Once that opens up, it's going to ask you, do you want to apply for more than one person at a time? If it's a yes, you choose yes and create a group application. If no, choose no. So for this demo, we are going to apply for one person. So we're going to choose no and continue. And then once that opens up, then here it's going to ask you application for a visitor visa or study permit. I want to apply for a study permit. Then it's going to ask you what exactly do you want to apply for. Here you have the choices. Then here I chose a study permit to study for more than 6 months, which realistically is what people need, right? Then tell us more about what you would do in Canada, include dates. So I used an example of I secured admission to study information technology in Canada starting May 4th, 2022. You can use this as an example to come up with the right information that fits your situation. And then here, you are going to put the date when you will enter Canada. It says if you don't know the date yet, you will travel to Canada, select an approximate date. Then you also select when you're going to leave. Here, this is going to be an option. It's going to be optional rather. If you remember your UCI or if you have one, please put that information here and then you continue. Once you do that, here it says you selected apply for a study permit for more than 6 months. So it's going to tell you, take the time to read all this information, and then it's more like telling you all the information that you're going to be filling out and providing. Then continue to application. So are you applying on behalf of someone? If you are applying on behalf of someone, you are going to indicate yes here, but also understand that you are going to be filling out a representative form if you do that. But if you're doing this by yourself, indicate no and then continue. Once you click on that, the next phase is going to be the travel document information of the applicant. You are going to provide your surname, your given name, your date of birth, your gender, then you also continue. And then here you are going to provide your travel document information. Here you're going to choose what fits you. I chose official, select your country, your nationality, your passport number, confirm your passport number, the date when it was issued, and the expiring date. It is super important to remember this. It says make sure your passport is valid long enough to cover the time you want to be in Canada. Your passport expiry date will determine the expiry date of the document you are applying for. So here it's going to ask you a couple questions. Take time to read and choose yes or no for each one that fits you. And then once you do that, you are going to do what? Save again and continue. So here it's more like citizenship and places where the applicant has lived. So here you're going to provide your country, the city where you live, if you're a citizen of more than one country, your country or territory where you're a citizen of. And if you are still, it says, I'm a citizen of this country or territory since birth. If you're going to indicate that, if no, then you are going to untick this and provide the information needed. Then here, save and continue. National identity document of the applicant. If you have a national identity document, you are going to indicate yes and provide that information. If no, just simply save and continue. If you've used names in the past, you are going to indicate it right here. Save and continue again. Then countries or territories of residence. Here you are going to provide the name of your country, the street where you live, the city. The postal code is optional. And then if the mailing address is the same as the residential address, if no, you are going to change that around. Then here it says list your current country or territory of residence, then add all other countries or territories where you've lived for the past 5 years for more than 6 months. So here you are going to provide your country. This demo here, you can use it to fill out yours. Provide your country, where if you're a citizen there or not, from the time which is generally when you were born, and then you save that information. And then again, you continue. Once you do that, if you have provided biometrics in the past, you are going to indicate that, and then it's going to ask you, do you want to give your biometrics again? If yes, indicate yes and continue. But if you have not provided any biometrics, simply indicate no, save and continue. But be aware that you are going to pay for the study permit application fee and also for the biometrics fee. So once you save and continue, the next step will be details of your intended study in Canada. So here you are going to indicate the type of study permit you're applying for, which of the following applies to you. So here I indicated I have a letter of acceptance from a designated learning institution. If you don't know what that is, I will leave a link in the description area below of what a designated learning institution is. And then which of the following applies to you. In the drop-down menu, take a few seconds to read and choose which one applies to you, and then provide information of the level of study, and also provide your designated learning institution number, the name of your school, and the address, street number, street name, city, the province, the postal code, the field of study, and then for how long you'll be studying there. So here I indicated 2022 to 2025, meaning I gave an example of a 3 years program. But if you're doing like a postgraduate program, then it's going to be 2022 to like 2023 or 2023 to 2024, depending on what works for you. And once you finish this information, again, you are going to save and continue. Education cost. So this example is based on some of the fees I paid for my program that I gave an estimate, right? So this is more like an approximation. So I did a 2 years program here, but for this one, because it's for the example I gave of a 3 years program, so this is the estimate of the amount that you're going to be paying. But if you have that information in your study permit or the acceptance letter you got, then you are going to multiply it based on 3 years and the semesters to arrive at this number right here. Then you're also going to do that for the room and boarding. Here you're going to provide the approximation of how much you are going to be spending. It says this is the total amount. Let me highlight this information right here. This is the total amount for food and lodging for the duration of the program. So here, depending on if you're going to be living with someone, are you paying $650 or $1,000 or lesser, then you are going to multiply that monthly for 3 years or for the duration of your program, and also your feeding, right? How much you're spending a month for food, and then put that information here. Again, this is just an approximation, an example for the demo. Then here you're also going to provide the funds available for stay in Canada for the entire time you're going to be staying in Canada. Then here it's going to ask you who will pay for your expenses in Canada, yourself or parents or other. Depending on what works for you, you are going to choose that. Are you receiving financial support for your studies? If yes, indicate yes, and then choose the type of support that you are getting. But if no, just tick no and continue. Once you do that, here it's all about the type of program you're taking. So it says, do you want to apply for a work permit to participate in a co-op program? So if your program of study in Canada has a co-op, then you are going to indicate that you're going to be needing a co-op work permit. But if no, just simply indicate no here. So depending on what works for you, indicate yes and choose the type of co-op work permit, or no and save and continue. Then over here, I'm just going to simply go back and stick to the information I provided there so that I don't mess this demo up. So I'm going to stick to this particular demo that I'm going to need a post-secondary co-op work permit, and then save and continue. So information about education, work, and other activities. So it says post-secondary education history. Have you studied at a post-secondary school, university, college, or vocational school? You don't need to have completed a degree or diploma. So if you indicate yes, you are going to provide the details of your post-secondary school. I'm just going to pull this up so that you guys can see. So here I just gave the name of the institution, the time when you started, the time you finished, your level of study, the field of study, and the address of the school. Save and continue. And then this is one of those ones that is a little bit confusing. So because it says here, it says give details of your employment and activities since the age of 18. And this is the most important part I want you guys to pay attention to. It says, don't leave any other gaps. So here, what I really did was, let me pull up the first one and the time frame. So this, depending on when you're watching this demo, this is a video I made in 2021 December. So for this applicant, based on his age, which is 1996 January, so if this applicant started like work, if I use the 2013 to 2021, it fits with that 10 years based on their request. So here I provided the time till when I finished as a sales and service occupation person, and then the job title, where you did that job, the address. The most important thing I want you guys to remember here is the time frame, 2013 to 2014 December, right? Meaning that the next job or whatever, if you were unemployed, is going to start from 2015, just to keep up with the time frame, because it says make sure that there are no gaps left. So if you save this and we pull up this one where I said unemployed, but if you weren't unemployed and you're still working, you are going to put that information to fit this time frame so that it matches with 2013 to 2014 December, and then 2015 January. So if I pull this up here, it says 2015 January and ongoing. So that was how I was able to get this number here, which is get the information for, do not leave any gaps, rather give details of your employment and activities since the age of 18. Once you pass this stage, you are going to do what? Save again and continue. Here you're going to provide your travel history. If you've traveled to a country or territory other than the one where you're a citizen or where you live now, you are going to indicate yes or no. And then again, more travel history questions. Read and answer yes or no, depending on what fits you. Again, save and continue. I'm going to quickly go through this part because we've gone through the most important parts and the hard part. So here you're going to take the time to answer the questions on criminality and security. Take the time to read and choose what fits you. Save and continue. When you finish that, finish up with the criminality and security questions again, and then you save and continue. Medical background questions, same thing. Have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel physician within the last 12 months? Yes or no? If you answer yes, provide the details. If it's a no, save again and continue. So here is it's also more about the medical background questions for tuberculosis. Take the time to read, choose yes or no based on what fits your situation, save and continue. Finish up with the medical background questions, finish that, save and continue. Then get to the family information. What is your current marital status? You're going to choose what fits you, continue, save and continue. Then, do you have any biological, adopted or stepchildren? Yes or no? If you indicate yes, you're going to provide those information here by clicking on this button. If you choose no, just choose no and then tick this button here, save and continue. Then here you're going to provide information about your parents. If you don't have any parents, you're going to indicate this button here. But if you have parents, then all you have to do is click on this add button here and provide the information. I will just pull up one to give you guys an example of what I did. Provide last name, given name is optional, your relationship with the person, date of birth, the country. If the person is deceased, you tick this button here, and their present occupation. And then, does this parent have the same address as you? Yes or no? Will this parent come with you to Canada? Yes or no? Save that. Use that to provide for the two parents. But if you just have one that you know of, then you do the same. Once you finish that part, you are going to also do what? Save and continue. Then language of the applicant. In the drop-down menu, you are going to choose what fits you, and then indicate how you want to communicate. How can you communicate in English or in French rather? Then you have the options to choose what fits you. Then what language do you want us to use to contact you? If it's French, choose French. If it's English, choose English. Again, save and continue. Here you are going to provide the email on how they're going to reach out to you. Provide that information. And also use this button here to provide the phone number on how they're going to reach you if needed. Again, save and continue. Then here is the summary of your information. So if you kind of forgot something or you remembered something and you want to go back and fix it, this is the time that you're going to be able to do that. You can either do this here, or when you're filling out the application, you can use the back button to go back, correct your mistake and save and continue. So we're going to presume that this application that we provided all the right informations that we need. So we're just going to do what? Save again and continue. So here for this demo application that we are working on, it's telling me that I'm going to upload my letter of acceptance. So I just use the random documents here to just make sure that I get all of this ready so that we can get to the final stage. So for this demo, you're going to provide your letter of acceptance, official letter from school, passport and travel documents and proof of funds, right? So these are the documents that you're going to be providing. If you are filling out your study permit application and it's a bit similar with this, then this is kind of what you're going to be providing as well. But if yours is slightly different, then you might provide extra documentation. So once you get to this point and upload all the requested documents for your application, again, you're going to do what? Save and continue. Then here it's going to ask you for consent and declaration. Do you consent to be contacted by CSC? Yes or no? I'm just going to indicate yes. Then here you are going to put your last name, and then you can put your first name. It says given name / first name is optional. Then once you indicate that, go down here, save again, and continue. So it's showing you that the study permit fee for one person is $150, and then the biometrics fee is 85 Canadian dollars. So in total, you're going to be paying $235. So in the previous application process for study permit, I made a video about that already. It's also the same price, $150. This is just the new IRCC portal showing you that it's still the same amount plus the biometrics. So once you get to this point, save and continue again, and then it's going to take you to the payment page. Let's just hang on. Okay, there we go. So all you have to do now is you're going to provide your card holder name, card number, date. Of course, this is self-explanatory, and then you check out. This is a simple way on how to apply for a Canada study permit using the new IRCC portal. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.